Hello, YouTubians. I've been watching the news lately, and I've been reading about these many state measures that have been both at the federal and the state level. These measures that are trying to restrict a woman's right to choose inclusive reproductive health care options, including if she would like to terminate her own pregnancy. And now you hear many Republicans and conservative Democrats, because there are some conservative Democrats who support this, say that they're pro-life and they're fighting for the rights of the child. They say that in one breath, but the next minute they say single mothers are welfare queens, they're leeches on the system. And they try to cut benefits like WIC, children's health insurance, other programs that help children who may be born to poor mothers, and it's important that if you don't want women to have an abortion, then you have to provide them other options. When a woman has no option, oftentimes she'll turn to these things. I believe in a woman's right to choose, but I believe we should reduce the numbers of abortions per thousand. I believe we do this by giving women other options. I also think we do it by providing comprehensive sex education. A condom used, a birth pill used, where it wouldn't have previously been used when someone was having sex, is pregnancy prevented and abortion does not need it. So, anyway, get back to my original thought. So, are Republicans really pro-life when they take away a woman's resources to raise her child, and so when she's faced with poverty and she has no other choices, then she must consider this option? Are they pro-life when they prevent sex education, which can stop women from being pregnant, i.e. the no need for abortions? What makes them pro-life? Are they just anti-abortion? Because in one hand, they're like, abortion's wrong, but once that baby's out, we're not pro-life anymore. It's all up to you. And many women just simply aren't psychologically or intellectually able, aren't able to take care of children, so they choose to have an abortion. And yes, they'll say, oh, but there's adoption. I'm here to tell you, there are hundreds and hundreds of children in foster homes who never get adopted, ever. Particularly if they have a mental illness, they have a physical disability, intellectual disability, they're children of color. They simply never get adopted. So it's disingenuous to say put the child up for adoption, because, ladies and gentlemen, most children in this country do not get adopted. They just simply do not get adopted. Of course, Republicans are against providing all qualified adoption parents with the opportunity to adopt children. Since they're against gay adoption, they're against single-parent adoption. So they're really not for adoption either. Right? Really, they're only for adoption if you're a white, heterosexual, Christian family. So, again, they say they're against abortion, but they're against the alternative. They're against birth control. They're against inclusive adoption. That means adoptions not only just by heterosexual people, but by qualified LGBT couples, by single parents. They're against programs that would give women other options besides having abortion because of poverty, such as WIC or other forms of things they call the welfare state. So I ask you, what do they expect these women to do? Furthermore, as we see abortions become harder and harder to get, we see more women turning to do-it-yourself abortions, whether they're taking at-home concoctions or going to unsafe abortion providers such as the one in Philadelphia, the Women's Medical Society. So this is just really just a big cock-up. They're not providing women with options. They're making it difficult for them to use abortions. They're causing them to have at-home procedures which are dangerous, or using unsafe providers. Well, so I'd like to know, how do Republicans propose to make the situation better? We know how they propose to make the situation worse by imposing criminal penalties, stopping education, and stopping inclusive adoption, and providing women with other needed assistances. But how do they plan to make the situation better? And see, they haven't offered a plan. See, and that is one of my main theses why they're not truly pro-choice. I mean, to be pro-life. Another thing, if they're small government, they want a government big enough that it can invade a woman's body, it can tell her what she can and cannot do with it. That doesn't sound like small government to me. That sounds like big, intrusive government. And I agree with Ron Paul's position, which is it should be between a woman and her doctor. Which was also the position of the Republican demigod Barry Goldwater. I just think I think this is hypocrisy to say that Republicans are pro-life, because they're really not. After that child's born, they don't care what happens to it, whether it has health care, food, shelter, etc., etc. Pro-life of the mother. They're not for small government. They want the government big enough to tell you what to do with your body, what medical decisions you can make. I mean, to me, there's just complete hypocrisy on this issue. Thank you for listening. I hope you have a good day. Please give me a comment. Tell me what you think. If you agree with me, disagree with me, don't write anything ugly or hateful. I'll delete you. Thank you.